Hey guys, good morning. We're going to do another episode of Tales from the Head. Today is part 2 of our dream segment, and I'm obviously here with my special co-host Danny,
What's up, dude?
and we're just going to tear it up. I mean, it's a Sunday morning. We usually put these out Monday or Tuesday, and it's nice to do mornings because it's a little more of a conversational brunch feel than it is like
Mm-hmm.
a late let's meet up after we had a shitty day at work. It's just, sometimes it's cool, but it's nice to start our day like this, I think. We both kind of
Yeah,
agree
dude.
with that.
Like when I was talking. I'm sorry, because right when you said brunch, I took a little bite of my pumpkin season um sugar cookie thingy over here because it is spooky season. But um, yeah, dude, I love having our conversations in the morning because it's like having coffee with a friend, and we're just like catching up. It's like
Yeah.
imagine going to like a coffee shop. We're those New Yorkers, older gentlemen who meet up every Sunday, have our coffee, maybe play some chess. We're gonna accuse each other of cheating, and guess what? We're gonna do it again next week.
Talk about foreign cars and how they don't work as well. Just kidding.
Yeah, yeah.
I said that because I was watching
It
Gremlins last night.
was funny because I was gonna say talking about how this new generation of kids are they're fucked, and that's exactly what we were talking about before we hit the record button too.
I know we think that, but I feel like we're just older because everyone says that. Even when we were in high school, they were saying that.
Yeah,
Remember?
yeah,
Oh, these kids are
yeah.
screwed, man. And I'm like, yeah, but guess what? The kids now are even more fucked. So it's like, it's
Yeah.
okay. It'll just keep going down.
I will agree though. This new generations don't know shit about music.
Dis Oh, new generations.
Yeah, new generations, new music that this new generation listen to, not so good. You get a couple good bands here and there, but
So,
you know what? When you're playing the radio, it's not good no more.
well, yeah. So that would be my argument: is they're probably hip to all the music we like, and they know it, which is probably the advantage they have.
Mm-hmm.
But then their generational music is nothing. See, if it was something I didn't understand, it'd be one thing, right? Because then it's
Yeah,
new, and we're old, and it's just something we don't get. The music's not
it's
made
not a
for
cup
us.
of tea.
But it's not even new. It's just rap has become watered down trap. Trap is watered down rap. We all know that because you're too high
Mm-hmm.
on lean. You can't make real music.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them do, but trap's so played out, man. They're using trap beats in pop songs.
Yeah,
It's over. It's
yeah.
over. Megan Trainor's got trap beats.
No, and what it was new and edgy 10 years ago now it's popularized, and it's like that's what diffuses it. Like
But
again,
even then,
I can only speak on pop punk, but pop punk in the 20s it was like heartbroken. Well, it wasn't necessarily all heartbroken, but it was fast. It was songs to kind of like sing about girls and chicks and all this stuff, but like the whole personality of it was still like fun, having a good time, no egos, making fun of people, like fuck the jocks and all this stuff.
yeah.
And now with like what I know is with modern day pop punk, they definitely took the more of the sad version of it, but it's more like ego rock stars, like if you're fucking Motley Crue in the 80s, and like, no, dude, that's not pop punk. That's not punk rock.
Yeah.
Punk rock is like, and pop punk is pissing off people, and having a good time and like not taking yourself so serious. And now you have artists who are like all up so far up their asses that you're taking the fun out of it.
Well, it's because that genre is tapped in a way that, and not in a flattering way. Like, I could make an argument that thrash metal is super tapped, but I feel like it's been it's been complimenting it. That genre has been complimenting itself for over 30 years
Mm-hmm.
because there's reemerging artists that come in and they fit right in for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
But with punk, hip hop, rap especially, it doesn't work with the past stuff. It like wants to write over it and like not like pay homage. It literally wants to act like it's new, but it's borrowing and stealing from all the shit before it.
Yeah.
And I feel like some metal is a little more better about like citing their sources about where they're from, if you will. Like, it's not just like I invented this.
No, Coop. Oh my God, you 100% right. I think people, um, we like to tell who our influences are.
Yeah.
Because personally, I like to do that because one, I when I influence my like who inspired me and who I ripped it off, like quote unquote, oh, it sounds like this. It's like a coping mechanism. Like, okay, if you don't like this, it's because I'm trying to sound like that band. So it's not my fault. So I think that's what it is. But like my little brother, Trump Boy 95, if you will. You know him. He's a big.
You gave him his Instagram handle.
Yeah,
Shout out.
who just dropped a new album on Spotify. Dude, listeners, all 20 of y'all, my little brother. He's a piece of like I grew up picking on this kid. Okay, apparently he's like a really big DJ internationally with his like genre like that. He's one of the pioneers of this genre called like vaporwave. And of course, I'm like, yeah, like vaporwave. It's like basically they borrow stuff from like the 70s and 80s, like the aesthetic and the sounds of music, and kind of like modernize it. But it's still like huge like sound from that. It's not bad actually. But I remember like making fun of this kid while he's working on his music, like next door to me, and next you know it, like I bought his vinyl. I can sell that vinyl. I can have him sign it and the Turnboy sell it up on vinyl and sell it, and it'll go for like $500 because it's such like a highly sought out.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you mean tell me? He's like, oh yeah, I'll just put out some tapes. They're limited to like 50, and they're sold out like in 10 minutes. I'm like, who the fuck is this guy right now? He's like, oh yeah, they asked me if I want to go to Japan and play like at some fucking grand opening of some like arcade bar, and I'm like, he's like, yeah, they'll pay for like they'll pay for my flight. I just got paid for my hotel when I'm over. I'm like, who the fuck is this kid right now? And of course, I'm never gonna tell him to his face because he's my little brother. But anyways,
yeah,
he's been working on his new album where he's going to be doing more of his indie metalcore-ish kind of influence, which that's what he listened to when he was growing up.
Right.
And he's like, he calls me hella like excited. He's like, fuck, he's all, Danny, I'm going to regret this. He's all, but I need to tell you because I feel like you appreciate this. He's all, I just got into black metal. He's all, I just started listening to Mayhem, started listening to
like Venom, or not Venom,
Venom, but
Venom's
Venom,
black metal,
Sectric Fuzz, Dark Throne, all these like 80s like lo-fi, and of course like my little heart, I'm like,
Immortal's a good one too.
Yeah. So he's telling me all of this, and I'm like, all right, dude, you gotta listen to Behemoth.
Hell yeah.
You gotta listen to this.
Yeah.
You gotta listen to fucking this. I'm getting all this list, and then I'm like, oh, dude, you'll if I'm on. He's like, I just want to listen to the riffs. I'm like, okay, if you want to listen to your riffs, you gotta listen to Death. He's but I seen the logo. I never really listened. I'm like, no, okay, listen to Death. And right now he's all about death. He's dude. All about like, he loves them. He's like, dude, he's all, what's crazy? He's like, I can definitely hear like the early 2000s metalcore where they got the influence.
Yeah.
He's all like, Bring Me the Horizon, as a like Dying, Kill Switch Engage. You can tell like they got that influence from that. And so what's cool is that they all were wearing like the shirts. So it's not like they were like, he says like, it's not like they're coming off like, oh yeah, I came up with this riff. It's like, no, we listened to this band and we all kind of got the riffs off. So I always appreciate when like artists pay homage to like the roots.
Hell yeah.
And Death is just fucking badass. Such a badass band.
So that's cool you went there, so you went from black metal, but then technically Death is not black metal, they're death metal.
Yeah.
Like, they're basically like two of the original, like, people argue the original death metal band was Possessed, and they're from San Francisco, so that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, them and Death are pretty much it. Because, dude, even George Fisher from Cannibal Corpse. Cannibal Corpse is like the biggest death metal band. Corpse Grinder is his nickname, and it is a death song. So
yeah.
Chuck Schuldiner, Bad Motherfucker. Also, Gene Hoglan was his drummer for like two of their most commercially successful records, which I believe was Symbolic and Perseverance. The Sound of Perseverance, which I believe came out in 2000, the last record he did. Gene Hoglan, From the band Testament as well, but also pretty much every metal band fill-in drummer on tour ever. I've seen him play with Unearthed. I've seen him play with Strapping Young Lad. He just tours with everybody. He's one of the, Gene Hoglan is. He's a fucking household name for metal drumming.
Yeah.
He's just a bad motherfucker.
Yeah, dude. And it's just, it's awesome, dude. It's awesome when, like, I think it's awesome when people, like, use the modern music to kind of get you into the door. And then you'll see how it's boring. And then you'll kind of start looking for the influences and stuff like that. And you'll get drawn to, like, that era, like the 80s and 90s of, like, any rock, period. I think that's where, like, a lot of people got a lot of influences. Like, look at punk rock. If you ever, like, go back, they all, like, will cite, like, The Clash, The Sentence, Bad Religion.
Pistols.
Yeah. Bad Brains, like, Minor Threat. It's, like, all from that genre. Like, the newer shoegaze kind of alternative kind of bands. They will, make reference to, like,
maybe Smashing Pumpkins.
They'll probably, like, Jawbox, like Jawbreaker, all these different bands from, like, that genre, like the early 90s, like Far. Like, there's this band from Sacramento. They're called Far. You listen to their first album. I can't remember what the album is, but dude, that can easily be played, like, right now, and it'll be so awesome. You can definitely feel, like, how, like, bands from the early 2000s scream, like the new wave of screamo, like the Used, Finch, Story So Far, how they all got influence from, like, this, or even Thursday, how they got influence from this band called Far from Sacramento. That, their albums are so, like,
I've never heard that.
timeless.
So that's cool because I do like Finch. Like, I mean, I'm a poser with Finch. I only know What It Is to Burn, but that's probably their best record ever, right?
Yeah, it is.
So I don't feel bad.
The other records for Finch are not bad.
Yeah, but that's like a front to back classic kind of thing, huh?
Oh yeah, and it's just like it's so like intertwined.
It's like a time capsule
with our youth.
Yeah, exactly. Same.
Yeah.
First, it was funny.
Sure.
The first time I heard that record, I was at Tom's mom's work. We were in high school. His mom picked us up, and then we went to his mom's work for something, or we went with her to do an errand, and then for some reason Tom had his iPod, and it was an iPod, and he gave me an earbud, and then, like, we're listening, and it was just like What It Is to Burn, and I was like, dude, that's cool. So now whenever I listen to it, that was like the first time I ever heard it, because he kind of got me more into, like, the screamo, emo stuff, pop punk stuff. And same with Ryan. And I was already kind of a metalhead, so it was like, oh, cool, something to kind of broaden my spectrum.
Yeah.
But yeah, super nostalgia for me too.
Yeah, my introduction to Finch was on this. Remember when, like, record labels used to give you, like, samplers? Like, here's
like a ferret or a Victory.
Yeah. So I went to see here in San Jose at the Cactus Club. I saw, like, the ska band and the pop punk band, of course. And they were both, there's 3 bands who were signed to Drive Thru Records.
I remember.
And so they gave us a Drive Thru Record sampler. It had Newfound Glory, Phoenix DX. At the time, they were, like, the biggest band on the record label. And then a couple of up and coming bands who grew up to be huge. One of those bands was Finch. And I remember listening to, like, the first demo of Letters to You and the first demo of Awake. It's just super cheesy. You can tell, like, somebody's just brought in a boombox, hit record, and it was just like a live recording. And so that was my first introduction to Finch. And then, like, every sampler, like, new demo, then essentially What It Is to Burn came out. And I remember listening to it with my cousin, and we were just like, just like, wow, what is this sound? Like, so crazy, all the effects,
right?
All of the screaming.
They did add a lot of weird intro effects and shit.
Exactly, like,
and kind of electronic drum loops. Yeah, like you were just saying.
Yeah, the loops, and it's just like,
I think that is the What It Is to Burn, or is it Untitled? Is that the track that has the drum loop in the beginning that goes dun, 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 and then it goes, and then he screams, and it goes into. Click.
that's what it's to burn.
That is what it is. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, where it has like a weird little intro,
Yeah,
and there's two versions. This is how nerdy we are.
Yeah.
My cousin got the first release where what is to burn was still like a record, was still like a demo. So like the whole album is very well produced, and then like the last song is like a demo-ish.
Yeah.
And it has a very like R&B hip hop kind of intro, and then it goes into what's to burn. And then what I have is kind of like a phaser filter kind of effect to it, but it's still like, but it doesn't have like the drum beat to it. And then it goes into, you know, so it's like two different versions on two different albums.
I think, yeah. I think I know the first one more.
Yeah. But there's still songs throughout that album that has like drum loops and shit where they do very like weird shit. But yeah, dude, I love listening to albums that like reminds us hopefully better memories than bad memories, but give us like a good time and space, and like we live so vividly those memories. We were so innocent, bro. We were so innocent.
Well, we just weren't guilty. Proven guilty.
That's true. We weren't guilty, and we never will be.
I got a bunch of sampler albums. What I'll do is I'll take a picture. What we should do is send me your pictures to the Tales from the Head thing, and I'll do a post of me and you, because I'm sure you still got CDs. I got a fucking binder, and I'll go through and check and see, because I know I got Ozfest samplers. I think I have a Victory record sampler, Ferret. I got a bunch, so I'll get them all together. I'll take a little pic, and then we'll do a cute little nerdy music post later.
I'm not gonna lie, I threw away a lot of my CDs and my samplers like 3 or 4 years ago because I had no space.
No, I'm just kidding. No, but I'll do it if you do find anything. If you find a poster or something, I don't know, like a little sleeve.
I do have a handful, and I'm putting it over here because this is where I have them. I decided to keep like maybe 4 or 5 CDs that are a little bit too close to my heart.
Yeah.
No. But I can still remember, like, I'm pretty sure I can Google search the images, and I'll show you what were the samplers I'm talking about. Like,
yeah,
like the Punkorama ones definitely come up to mind. Like the very first thing that comes to mind is like Punkorama, the Fat Wreck ones, the Victory ones, the Vagrant Wrecker ones, the Drive Through. Yeah, dude, all those different albums.
Ozfest used to give you samplers every year that had a song from every band that was on the lineup for free. For free,
bro. I'm forgetting the Warped Tour samplers. They were like the most amazing one of them all.
Same thing, because that was amazing because there's so many. They give you so many tracks, but that's because there's so many fucking bands on the tour too.
Fun fact: I'm 100% convinced. I come out in the 2002 front cover of the Warped Tour sampler compilation, and
you threw it away.
That one actually lost a long time ago. I'm not sure.
Okay, that's better.
But
I was gonna say, Danny, all this means absolutely nothing because you have no proof of it, and you're not even gonna show the listeners or me. So I'm very, very upset.
I am 100% convinced that that's my.
You need to Google it and find it for sure.
I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna find the image right now. I am 100%. Yep. Okay, so this is the one. I'm like 100% convinced.
Can you share your screen and point yourself out?
Yeah. Let me do that right now.
I think this would be way better. That'll be perfect.
You need to give me
it's okay. I fill a little bit of time. So
you have to give me permission.
Oh yeah, I got to give you permission?
Yeah.
You're like, no, it's not a cute thing. You need to like do your part.
So, illegally you have to give me permission.
I got to go to the little thing. See, this is when you find out who knows what they're doing and who doesn't know what they're doing. I swear to God, didn't we do this whole permission thing before and it worked?
I think you have to do it like every time. Because I'm not the host.
Yeah, I know. It's accessibility, right?
Oh, where you see where it says participants in the bottom?
Oh, that's all I got to do there? Jeez.
Yeah, click
I'm over here in preferences.
No, participants, you click my name and it should give you like make co-host or something. And that'll give me permission.
That's so dumb. You're just going to be the host for now.
No, don't do that.
Is that bad?
No, you're good.
Well, here, host,
Yeah, okay.
and then you can show everyone your beautiful face.
Okay. Well, I am now.
And then we'll switch back.
Let me go ahead and screen share. There it is. You can see it.
There we go.
Okay, so I just did a Warped Tour thing. This is the 2002 Warped Tour. And what I went to this Warped Tour, the 2001 Warped Tour compilation. So let me bring this up.
That's Danny.
Nope, don't want to take that. Nope, don't want to give them.
Hide your browser history.
Let me go ahead. I can make this bigger. That's what she said.
Also, if you type in large, you would get the large version.
Really? Damn it. Okay.
It's okay, though. You can still zoom in and maybe find yourself.
Yeah. So, 100%, I went to high school with this guy. I can't remember his name. I was going to
say, that doesn't look like you.
But I went to high school with that guy. Hold on, where am I? There I am.
You know what's weird is the average person might not think that doesn't look like much. What is that, Bigfoot? But but I could tell it's you.
I have a very distinct feature in my face, and that is first thing, I have a lot of wrinkles on my forehead.
Are you talking about the brow?
Yeah,
you have a
then I have a little down brow.
Yeah,
that's me. That's my hair.
I was gonna say, yeah. See, I was kind of hoping you were bleached. I was really hoping you were that kid
with the bleached hair.
Yeah, Aaron Carter.
Right here, I had like the long, because it was all about early 2000s, so it was all about the longer sideburns.
Ah, yes.
And then my hair was the forward slick back over here, so it was spiking in the front, and then everything was like forward. It was super. So this, even though this is from the 2002 compilation, yeah, this picture was taken like in 2001.
Well, it makes sense because they were probably handing these out at the 2002.
Exactly. Yeah. And again, I remember seeing this, and I'm like, hey, I want to say this guy's name was Bobby, or Robert.
Damn,
I went
Bobby.
to high school with this guy. If anybody out there knows anything about Warped Tour 2002 compilation, if you can just tell me if this was taken in the piers, was it pier, not Pier 39, but Pier like
the one
19,
under the Bay Bridge, right?
Yeah, right next to where the X Games happen.
Yep.
Like I'm 100%. This is San Francisco, and I'm right here watching either the pits or something. And I'm not sure who's like rocking out.
I think you're right, because I don't think they started doing Shoreline until either 05 or 06.
Yeah.
So I believe you are good.
All right.
Well, that was nice. That was revealing, Danny. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you. I'm gonna make you now the host.
Okay, good. It was very brave of you.
Yeah.
No, but that was good. See, there is a reason to why we show you guys this stuff, because we're not just talking shit. We really were part of these silly.
We lived it. We lived it.
It wasn't silly to us, and it's still not silly. I don't know why I said silly, but I enjoy it.
Yeah. We lived it. That's what I'm saying.
We're gonna touch a little bit on the news a little bit, just real quick.
Yes.
I know. I mean, it's your morning tradition, so you might as well just feed us in, right? What do you think? Because I knew what you were going to talk about, but I figured we'd save it for the show. And it's a good little. It's a good little topic. So I don't know. Steph was explaining to me the details, but I know the gist of the details. Basically, I'm going to explain the Frank Somerville thing a little, and then we can go into what you were going to say, probably, because I think
absolutely.
You had more of a. So I'm sure everyone's kind of aware that Frank Somerville right now is. I don't think he was fired, but I believe he has been on leave. Maybe he was fired. I need to look into it more, but he is under controversy because apparently on his Facebook he posted that he's disappointed with his own network for not covering details of any of the other missing children. Here's the thing. I agree completely with Frank. Frank's like, we're only covering, like, it's hard to say it, but a blonde white girl. I mean, she's not even brunette. And like, look, I'm not saying she's not like a victim. That's not the point. The point is like, all news should be covered, man. Why are we still prioritizing this shit? And also, nothing to me pisses me off more than when they do that hurry up and but before we get into that, I didn't really explain what Frank did. Frank was explaining that it's not cool that we're that we're showing so much attention to specific people that are missing and not all people. And he did kind of mention like people of color, which is true. It's not in this instance, it's not a divisive tactic. He's expressing and shedding light that a media organization is not doing their responsible duty of reporting news. But hey, Frank, you're no stranger to this. The news reports what the fuck they want to, Frank. But you know what? I appreciate you for standing up for what you believe in. It doesn't seem like he did it for any other reason than to showcase that people are shitty. I am not surprised at all that KTVU suspended him / fired him. Also, KTVU is hilarious because they made a big old to-do about showcasing the other missing people. So, like I told Steph, I said, it's almost pointless at this point. Don't even talk about the other missing people. Just next time, talk about everybody. It's not this make up for lost time shit. No, just be better next time. Don't report it 2 weeks later. Yeah, that Asian girl's been missing for over 3 weeks now. Stop.
Yeah,
there's no point.
Why are you even going to do that?
What are you going to do
now?
A news story now? It's almost more insulting than it is like helpful. And
I think Frank also, I'm sorry to cut you off, but I feel like Frank also wasn't like just like, oh, we need to cover everything. No, he was saying like, oh, by the way, this is the number of missing colored people who go missing, and this is the number of color women who are victim to domestic violence.
Yeah,
and he didn't want to do like a whole. He just wanted like a little size. Let's go ahead and include them all. I think it would be a perfect opportunity to include that. And he was shut down, and in the meeting, he's like, no, I think that's like glorifying or like, I don't know, something, they said something. And of course there's a back and forward, and he was just like, yeah, you're not welcome back, in a couple of days, like for, suspended. And I'm like, that's fucked up, dude. Because like, as a person of color myself, like this type of shit happens in our community, and I'm like, when are we gonna get our fucking spot in the when is the news gonna cover our story? Like, yeah, some might argue like, well, at least Telemundo and Univision and stuff like cover it, but that's just within our community. You're just telling our community what we already know about our community. We want the rest. We want the different communities to hear us.
Yeah, but also. So that's not an excuse, because then if something happens in my neighborhood, I got to turn on Telemundo or Galavision to see what the fuck's going on.
Yeah,
that's not cool. No, like, it's not even that I don't speak Spanish. It's like, if it's news happening geographically where you are, then why isn't it being reported?
Yeah. I think that's a fair concept, and I think it's like, I was telling this to my students, like, it's all about representation. Like, if you don't feel like you're being represented in school, in society, all over the place, like, yeah, you're gonna have like this guilt. You're gonna have this like this negative view of yourself. Like, you don't belong here. You're always gonna be an other. And I'm like, yo, that shouldn't be the case, especially like for those who were born here. Like, and I feel bad. What was the soldier who went missing for a couple of months last year, from a U.S. Army camp, Vanessa.
I'm not sure either, but
can't remember her name. But yeah, same thing. Like, this active soldier was missing for months, and it wasn't until the family went to the news and demanded that the media started covering. Then what happened within a week or two? Oh yeah, I think we found her body, but she was missing for months.
Yeah,
a U.S. soldier, and here's a country that's so like embedded with patriotism and all this, like, all this stuff when it comes to military, and thanking those who serve, who should be thanked for serving, but you don't cover a missing soldier, especially a female woman soldier, because she's colored. Then if it was it because she's covered, is it you're trying to cover up your own ass and not show how the U.S. Army or military really how sexist it is. Like what's up? Like this is news that needs to be said. This is conversations that need to be had.
Yeah, and it's weird too because I mean, I would make the argument just in general that media is never really transparent, but damn, our media is far from it.
Yeah.
I just don't expect. That's why I don't watch the news really anymore.
Yeah.
It's just it's if I want to watch a scripted show, I've got plenty of great ones I can watch. Sopranos, I still got to finish. I
Yeah.
mean, there's plenty of shows that are fiction that I can get through my life and be happy watching.
Yeah.
It's an escape. The news has now become as unrealistic as fiction, but it's made to make you feel more stressed out. I'm over it. I don't need the programming.
And then
it's proven, either way, it's proven that it's this narrowed, shitty view of what's going on. So what's the point of, I mean, it's like getting your information from a gossiping neighbor that doesn't fucking take anyone else's perspective into accord. You wouldn't want to talk to that person for information.
No, and not only that, but it's also like it's also this thing where like you feel you get shunned on by whoever, society, media, or society, what's it called, social media, for not being informed about social news that are going on. But how can you be informed if the news is just covering what they want you to cover? And that always pisses me off. And I was, anytime I bash our government and on media or whatever, the typical excuse is like, well, if you hate it so much, why don't you move to like, Venezuela, move to Cuba, see how much you're going to be able to talk about the news and stuff. I'm like, it's basically the same thing. Like all these like communist, socialist countries that, get shitted on so much by Western culture about censorship. I'm like, that's kind of like the same thing we're getting on right now. We get censorship to an extent.
Exactly, to an extent. Because, but that's the fear is, yes, we have it better, but we're going in that direction. And I agree. And that is the issue, Danny, because people don't see it yet. And people think, oh, whatever. It's not a big deal. Just do what they say. And it's like, yeah, well, that's what China does all the fucking time.
Yeah.
It doesn't work out well for them. They're on like a social credit score thing now.
Really? China or?
China.
Damn it, China.
It's like good karma, bad karma, points, up votes, down votes for you as a person.
What's this freaking Hogwarts or something?
Oh, dude, it's just it's 84, man. We are living in a fucking 84, like 1984, George Orwell. This is some crazy. I mean, it's just insane.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what, dude? Look at how happy Australia and China is right now. If you guys think like everything's hunky dory, yeah, it is right now. Oh, shit's already hitting the fan politically. I'm not even going to get into that on a rant on that. I'm going to say that for my other podcast, but it's like I've got so much shit on my head, in my mind. That's why I'm like, I don't do the news. I have I get push notifications from like CBS News. That's basically how I find out. Mandates are passed, whatever. There's no point in watching the news for me. So that's good enough. I stay informed, but I'm picky and choosy about how much I
and you have to limit yourself. Yeah, you have to limit yourself because at the end, if you dive right into it,
it's too much.
Depending where you get your news information, there's going to be some sort of bias. And even if they're reporting the same situation, you can tell there's biases by like what type of words they're using, what kind of the tone of it. There's little biases and everything here and there. So
verbiage.
You really have to pick and choose, and you really have to limit yourself, like how much information you want to get. It's
all labels, dude. It's all, not to get too political, but it's all labels. We're either pro-life, people are either pro-lifers or anti-vaxxers, and it's like anything to make people put a target on their back. Look, at the end of the day, we got to keep this in mind. Whether you're an anti-vaxxer, a pro-lifer, you're pro-vaccine, guess what? You're an individual and you're allowed to have those beliefs. So keep doing what you're doing. Who am I to tell you what to think? And I won't tell you what to think. All I'm saying is to just fucking think. Think for yourself. Don't let other people tell you what to do. Come to an informed decision on your own about what you want to do. That's what real life is. We're adults. It's like you don't go to the dealership and just say, here's $10,000. Give me your best car on the lot. No, you look around, you test drive it, you figure it out.
Yeah.
So why is a vaccine and why is everything else we're doing different? Get it together, people. Get it to fucking together. Now, moving on to our subject today.
Yeah. No, one last thing about the news, though, before we start shit on.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, that was the whole thing we did.
No, it was cool. It was cool. As I was watching news this morning, October is mental wellness, month. I feel like every year should be fucking mental wellness. Every month should be it. But we're looking into it, and they were talking about like things that to help you, like, for better wellness, de-stress or stressors and remove things that give you stress. And I felt very validated from like what we're doing here, this little podcast and our little rants and nonsense. Like there's a meaning to it, because the same thing they were talking about is the same thing that we talk about here. Like they're giving advice on how to, like, one of them was like eat better, and like, we did like a whole thing about things what to eat, exercising, journaling, which is things that we have talked about before here in this podcast. So yeah, I felt good, dude. And it's just like, I think one thing that really, really like struck me was they're saying how when you feel stress, you feel it in your gut, you feel it in your stomach. And it's funny because about 2 years ago, when I first started like realizing I had a problem, like I was just constantly, and I think I told you this before, I was constantly throwing up. I was just throwing up, not eating well, not sleeping well, being too tired, not being able to sleep at night. And it was just like, it's funny that I see this now. I did my research, I see it now, and it's just, it feels so good to feel validated, in this like big media thing. So I want to say thank you to those who have been supporting us, who've been listening to us. Thank you, Coop, for doing this with me.
Yeah, thank you too,
doing
buddy.
this, dude. And like, let's just keep on. Let's keep up the good work, dude. Let's keep it up.
I agree, and I like it too, and it 100% the same. I couldn't have said it better. But what I was gonna say was this wasn't KTVU that by any chance that.
No, this was KTVU. Right now, I'm in protest because I want you to free my boy Frank.
Yeah, Frank the Tank needs freedom, dude.
Frank, let the tank go, baby. Let the tank go.
That Somerville tank's got to float, baby. Come on.
Somerville tank. This was Crom 4 Morning News, who is going to showcase on the 9th the Blue Angels for Flight Week.
Okay. All right.
So if you don't want to go down to San Francisco, see the Blue Angels do some freaking crazy gnarly shit, Top Gun style, you can watch it on Crom 4 at 2 p.m.
Man, Cron 4, what a throwback.
Fuck, dude.
And before I taint their name, because my grandma used to love listening to Crom 4, watching Crom 4. So what a great way to end the media shit fest that we started with. KTVU, get your shit together. Cron, keep up the good work. We're keeping our eye
Crom 4.
But we're keeping our eyes on everybody. No one's safe. Yeah.
Crom 4 Morning News. News, and I feel like that whole channel is like just news 24/7.
I think so. And then it goes into like that weird public access where they'll play like the Andy Griffith Show and then like an old movie from the 80s.
They'll play fucking Judge Judy or
Arachnophobia.
Yeah.
Like an old 80s horror movie.
Yeah.
Oh God, that's awesome. Well, that was a good update and rendezvous. We got our powwow, as some of the cowpoke might say. Mm-hmm. We're gonna jump right back into dreams.
Yeah, dude.
Last episode, we focused a lot on what dreams are. Ooh, excuse me for my voice kind of changing there. What dreams are. But today we're going to be focusing on why they're hard to remember and tips to remembering them. So, for the most part, dreams are hard to remember. I mean, you wake up in the morning, you're just like, oh, shit. Like, you're like, the first 30 seconds, I feel like you're like, okay, I either had a really good dream or I had a really weird dream. Mm-hmm. And then for me, it's like, and the next minute and a half, I'm already so fucking absorbed with what I need to do next that it's just gone. So that's definitely part of it. People say waking up too fast is an issue. Um, Also, just I think waking up too fast and being non-attentive kind of go hand in hand because you're not being attentive to your dream. You're focusing on what you have to do next.
Yeah.
Who doesn't do that? I mean, it's like morning. You got to get up. You got to get ready.
Yeah. Especially here where we live in a society where it's like, boom, boom, like everything needs to be fall in order. Like for me, when I heard the term waking up too fast, it's like what? So my alarm goes off and I wake up,
right?
And then what's the first thing you say when you wake up? You don't think about the fucking dream. You're like, oh fuck, I gotta go to work. So you're really thinking about like getting ready, getting changed, do your routine in the morning. Like is this all like? Yeah, you're not really thinking of the past. You're thinking how you're gonna, get ready for today.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
But if you want to recall your dreams, that seems like it's kind of the issue. There's also other issues. So that's kind of like the natural way of fighting off remembering your dreams. It's like we kind of just so absorbed with what we're doing. There's obviously other ones. Sometimes it could be stress related. Once again, kind of a distraction, right? Stress is a big distraction in our lives. Yeah. It takes up time, and we're just obsessing about a certain thing rather than a solution or anything productive. So, and like that could be grieving, could be trauma. Maybe you're dealing with some kind of incident, with a family member, or maybe you got slapped in the face from one of your students on a TikTok dare.
TikTok challenge. I will. First off, I'm gonna go on record here. Maybe I shouldn't go on record. I'll hold it.
No. Well, it's okay.
I really hope that's not a real trend. That's all I'm saying.
I got some theories that I think it is real, but I think right now, Danny, we're in a position where we're the adults and we're officially now not cool. I know we are cool, but to these little peons, we aren't. But
yeah,
we're officially the adults in a horror movie that get murdered about second act. So that's who we are as society right now. We're not very important on the social ladder to kids. But that doesn't mean that, by the way, Danny, this is what you need to do. When they get a little bitchy, because that always happens, bring in the movie The Substitute. You've seen The Substitute.
Not okay, because I was thinking 187, but that's Samuel L. Jackson. Substitute is with that one dude
from Major League, Tom Berenger.
Yes, from Major League, the catcher.
Yes. Great movie. Well, Major League's a great movie. Substitute, movies, great movie. It is just also kids. I think they'll like it because it's just one of those really cool retro films that does age well, especially for a high school audience.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can get away with playing it at school because I believe it is rated R, but
I probably won't be able to. But
but it's kind of like you could tell them to watch it. You could be like, "Hey, you guys, just to give you a little perspective, why don't you go watch the movie The Substitute with Tom Berenger?" All right, and then think twice about messing with authority and like coming in here all hot with your stand and deliver attitude. Because I'll tell you right now, I'm Edward James Olmos in this bitch, and not from that movie, from American Me. All right?
No.
You're like, but I ain't going down in the end getting stabbed. All right?
No, I'm not gonna go down and be like, oh, open your eyes, Vato. No.
No, fuck that. You might have the scars on your face, but it's because you fucked people up, not because you're.
Yeah. No, not because you got fucked up one way or the other.
Oh, no offense, Edward James Olmos, man. Edward James Olmos, what a badass.
Pretty good guy.
Hero of the 80s and 90s, you would say, for up and coming movies.
Yeah, he was all over the place.
Good actor.
Now, I wonder what was like the last thing he'd done.
Last thing I saw him in was the movie Two Guns with Denzel and Mark Wahlberg. He played the cartel boss.
I saw him. I think he comes out in the TV show The Mayans.
He does. He's also on that. I think he is the dad.
He's the dad. He's like the butcher dad kind of thing. That's like a weird, I never got into Mayans.
Me neither, dude. And I love.
I tried.
I'm glad you said that because I feel like a lot of people like it, and I'm an original Sons of Anarchy fan.
Okay.
So it has nothing to do with not liking Mayans, because in my opinion, The reason I didn't like Mayans was the writing. The cartel aspect of the story was very uninteresting. So overdone. The classic, I'm a crime syndicate in America that's dealing with a cartel in Mexico. We've been through that a million times.
Yeah,
like it's over. Who cares? The
for
whole
me,
cartel boss with the white American wife too. Who cares?
For me, dude, like I love Sons of Anarchy. I thought it was really well, such good like writing and stuff. So when I heard about Mayans, I'm like, all right, if it's like the same, I'm like, all right, I'll give it a shot. I'm all for this. You know, for me, it was just like, I'm like, this isn't how it works.
No.
Like them like first off, I'm not really sure if they're Southern California or they're like
No, I think there are, or are you saying maybe they're in Arizona? But I think they're in Southern. I think they're in SoCal.
Like the way like they move in and out of Mexico, like just cross like no big deal. Like it's not the way they portray Mexico. Also, like, have you been to the border towns in Mexico, sir, ma'am? Whoever wrote this, like, obviously it's not.
Just looks like San Diego.
They're cities. They're cities. They're not a little town.
Yeah,
you know, they're cities. And then like the whole cartel aspect of it, and like the main head boss, like
the cartel boss, the young guy, he's a bitch. I hate that.
Like
guy.
doing like he's doing all the dirty work. You mean to tell me the cartel guys are like big time El Chapo and those people are doing the fucking dirty work?
Yeah, hell no. They got soldiers, dude. It's like every other crime syndicate in the world.
I will say the bodyguard of the guy from the cartel, the guy with the long ponytail. That used to be the singer. That's Gio. He used to be the singer for Thick Ass Blood.
Oh, really?
That's him. I remember he left Thick Ass Blood. For those who don't know who Thick Ass Blood is a hardcore band from the early 2000s. That Maya.
I was just gonna say the dudes from Maya Variety could probably be extras on Mayans.
When I did my little thing with Maya. We play a couple shows with Thick Ass Blood, so I got to meet those guys and talk to those guys, and
that's crazy.
Befriend them. So yeah, it's crazy that I'm like, oh shit, that he used to have short hair and like sing about respect and straight edge, and now he's a fucking movie actor playing a Mexican, even though he's like Puerto Rican.
Well, and isn't that the oldest story in time?
Typical.
Hey, get that Italian guy to play a Mexican. Well, that's what they used to do in the old westerns. They weren't even Mexican actors.
Yeah.
But that's also because they were filming them in Italy a lot of the time.
Or just getting a bunch of like white people to play like minorities. Because we never had enough of those.
That's been a while. I think we should bring it back, actually.
Make a comeback.
You know what's funny? You know what's funny though is bringing it back. I wonder if people would be like, oh my God, that is just so eye-opening. And like, I love what you're doing for society. Like, it's so scary, but it's so real.
It's so brave. You're so brave.
I know. I was trying to avoid it because it's so easy to say, but that's totally what they would say.
You're so brave for it. You're so confident. You're so brave.
Yeah, go in a burning building and pull someone out. That's brave.
Yeah. Yeah.
Holding the jalapenos on your Subway sandwich, not so much.
That's not brave.
No, go fuck yourself.
Brave. Yeah.
Even if you have an ulcer, take a risk.
Yeah. No.
Speaking of ulcer, another thing, another reason why dreams are hard to remember because of Mayans. No, because of dreams are hard to remember because of diet. Also because of diet. So the jalapenos late at night. You might not forget your dream, but you might have a nice little spicy one if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
No, it does not work like that. If anything, I'll have a bad dream if my stomach's working overtime on the digestion
perspective of things. And I think it all goes together. It's like whenever you go to the doctor or something, they'll always ask you like, are you eating well? What are you eating? What you have for food? It's no coincidence that what we put inside our bodies gets interpreted to what we produce. So
totally,
if you're not having a healthy diet, it leads into stress, your body kind of like feeling like shit, which will then create dreams to reflect that. And then it's going to be hard for you to remember it because your diet doesn't, your body is mostly focused on not feeling like shit no more, then what the hell was this dream about unicorns and rainbows? You know.
Also, the physiological stuff that's going on with your body while you're digesting food at night is going to play into your mental state. And it's funny because you've probably experienced this. Like, you eat late at night, it's kind of a heavy meal.
Yeah.
And then you go to bed and you kind of a weird dream or something.
Yeah, because your body is like trying to get rest while freaking digesting the
That's
fucking
what I mean.
double
I think
Western.
It's interfering with your restfulness because it's like, no, bitch, you're not going to go to REM right away. We still got about 10 pounds of enchiladas to get through. And then...
Listen, sir, you just had a double Western, Crisp cut fries, and the chicken stars. We're gonna do this for a while here, okay?
Okay, you were drunk, so you also ordered a couple orders of the fried zucchini as well.
You know what? Fuck. You know what? And yes, make it large. Large fucking Coke.
God. That's a good late night one.
Oh, dude, a double Western late at night.
Because that's the one where you get the 2 onion rings in it, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you can't go wrong. The Western, you can't go wrong with that.
Yeah. You know what? If you choose to do that, I'm not gonna judge you for it. I've done it, but make sure it's not every single day.
Just don't expect to remember your dreams. Okay.
Maybe it's a good thing.
Carl didn't. Neither did his son.
Now look at them. Now look how they are.
Yeah. So Carl's Jr. goes right along into substances. So if you do heroin, no.
Yeah.
No, but substances, it's not just illegal drugs. Could be legal.
Yeah.
Could be
stimulus.
Could be a little Sudafed. I don't know.
Yeah.
But do people still take Sudafed? Or is that just what they use to make meth?
I still definitely use it on both ends. for a little meth here in there.
Little meth. Yeah, so I mean, this could be. Obviously, it's not like, I don't think Advil, but it would be like along the lines maybe like, of prescription medicines.
I'm thinking like cigarettes also.
Right. Okay. Good point. Tobacco, caffeine, alcohol,
coffee. Yeah.
How did I look over that stuff?
Because every time we hear substance, we think it's like
you think narcotics,
it's heroin. Yeah, right. It's crack. Yeah. So obviously, if you're doing crack before you go to sleep, you're not going to remember your dreams. Yeah, you might not even have no dreams.
I mean, you're supposed to. What I asked someone, and they say you're up for a day or two. So yeah, you're probably not going to bed.
You're not going to have any good dreams.
Also, there was a crystal meth bust in, because I follow the 209 Times over here, and they busted someone in Modesto, and it's funny because I love this page because they show what the bust included, and this fucking guy, because at first I thought it was a regular bong, like weed bong, it was a crystal meth pipe hooked up to a gas mask bong.
Oh God!
So the guy was doing meth through a gas mask. That is next level tweaker insanity. He also had a piece on him with about 6 bullets.
Oh God! See. Thank you.
What is happening? Yeah.
Thank you, police officers or whoever was involved with that buzz, because we definitely did not need that.
Vaccinate that guy. See what happens to him, all right? This is what I'm saying. I don't want to be the guinea pig. This guy has nothing to live for. He had 6 bullets. That's it. One of them for sure was reserved for himself. So let's get him the vaccine.
And this was hotboxing his face with a meth. like
dude. You know, look, I don't even do that with the weeds. I enjoy my cannabis. I'm not going to get on some kind of holistic totem pole here, but wow, dude. I can't even do the gas mask with the marijuanas. I don't know how you would do meth. First of all, I've never tried meth, but I would imagine you don't need a lot to get there.
I don't think for people like us, we don't need that much. We don't even want to be contact high on that situation.
But that's what I mean. Like, I heard a little goes a long way for anybody almost. Yeah. So it's like, dude, you're gas masking it? Ooh. You got a life ahead of you, dude.
Your dentist must love you.
Your dentist? You don't have a dentist, dude. You got a guy with pliers. It's some whiskey. He's like, here, drink this. And he pulls out the fucking pliers and just goes to town, dude. You don't have teeth.
Hey, Coop, you would have been so proud of me yesterday, dude. I went to this vendor show. My girlfriend loves going to like these pop-up shows where like,
okay,
support local businesses.
Local
business.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Here, I actually got this guy yesterday. It's this.
Oh, is that a candle holder?
Yeah, with a candle inside.
Cool.
Yeah, but
I like it.
It smells delicious. It has like little beads. The light isn't really helping it, but yeah,
it looks good. I can tell what it is.
Yeah, really nice shit and really awesome people who
A lot of
sold it.
boutique kind of stuff.
Yeah. So it was
I
cool
like that.
little pop up show at some park over here in San Jose. Um, and then as we come in, because it was like a Halloween thing, as we come in, there's this selling like
It's
okay,
okay.
there you go.
There we are. You're back.
Okay, there's this lady like selling like wraps, blunt wraps and pipes
Mhm.
and edibles, and she's like, "Yeah, here you guys want a sample of this gummy edible?" And she offered my girlfriend first, and low key, I'm back in my head, I'm like, you know what? Why not?
Right.
But I had to read the
CBD probably only.
yeah,
She can't be
I had to
giving
read
people. Yeah, she'd be dosing people to jail.
hold on. Yeah. I had to read the room, and my girlfriend said like, "Oh no, thank you. That's not my thing." And then when she looked at me, I'm like, "No, we're good. Thanks. We're good."
Oh,
But
really?
inside, yeah, I'm like, "No, we're good."
Why didn't
But
you
I
just
was
go like, I'll take one?
you
You don't have to, Danny.
Huh.
You don't have to do everything.
You're right.
Because I'll tell you right now, I don't even think girls in general like to be agreed with all. They will never admit this, but they do not like to be agreed with all the time. They will never admit it. It's how you go about it as well, though. But I think they like contrast. But I think most people do. You just have to be complimentary about it.
Yeah.
Because you couldn't have been like, I don't know what's up with her. Give me like 3 of them. But like you could have been like, oh no. But I mean, like if you want to do something, fucking do it, man.
Yeah.
But I know I'm not saying you didn't, but.
When was it on? Okay, there I'm back on. I gotta change this cable. Where's my audio tech guy? Sheila, get the audio tech.
Oh, what's his name? Dexter?
Wait, who?
I don't know. I was trying to come up with a dumb name. Oh, it was a dumb name. Moving right along.
Okay. We'll call him Kyle.
Speaking of Dexter, substance abuse. Not a good thing, dude. Get your shit together.
God.
Call your mom.
This thing's just gonna go ape shit now. I even forgot what the fuck I was talking about. Let's move on.
It's okay, dude. I think we all did. In one way, shape, form, or another. And we pretty much covered why they're hard to remember. I mean, there's another one with sleep disorder. Yeah, that's pretty obvious. I think,
bro, come on. Yeah. If you have insomnia,
fuck your dreams. I'd be like, I don't care about my dreams. I just want restful sleep.
Yeah. Dude, if you have insomnia, if you have all these like sleep disorders, if it sounds like you're dying, shortness of breath, or you're trying to go to sleep, your dreams is the last thing you care about. Care about, bro.
He's all, dude. I got like 30 minutes of sleep, but why am I not remembering my dreams?
Oh man,
fuck.
I only slept like 1 hour in the last week, but I had this dream.
I'd be like, I tell you right now, dude, I've been going through so much stress, and if I just had a dream, it would all go away. Yeah.
My doctor doesn't. My describe me a dream.
You're gonna have a dream, and you're not gonna like it. Well, that's the other thing. How do you know it's gonna be a good dream?
That's true. That's the risk we're willing to take, sir.
So that was kind of just the rough overview of why we sometimes don't remember our dreams. But luckily, thanks to us, we did a little research, and you're not just empty-handed here. We're gonna give you some advice, some tips on how you can start remembering these dreams. Maybe they're sexy dreams. Maybe you're like, oh man, that's never gonna happen again, and you are right. It will not happen, and it might not ever happen. So enjoy it while it happens in your dream, because let's be real, she's really not that into you, It's not just a movie. Tips to remember dreams. Get yourself tired. It's like any parents or caregivers or teachers out there. Get yourself tired during the day with exercise and get some restful sleep. Anyone who babysits, what do you do with the kids, man? You fucking get them running laps. You make them go through hell week. You turn on like Navy SEAL training videos on YouTube. You do what you got to do. You overfeed them. Heavy foods if you can. Starches, anything breaded usually will knock them out pretty quick.
I got carbs.
A little bit of milk. Nice little milk before. No, dude, but it's like it makes sense. Your body is at that stage where it's ready for a shutdown, so you're probably going to reach REM sleep a little quicker.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, you know what I mean. You're gonna snore. So anytime you have a hard day, if I'm super tired, I snore. I'm not normally a snorer, but
Mm-hmm.
I will fucking knock out. When
Yeah.
I'm beat, oh dude, I snore. I feel it in the morning, but Steph's told me, she's like, yeah, you were tired.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
another, get yourself into that position where you're really sleepy. I mean, I think that's a good I think that's really just a good thing to do, like every night in general. Well, don't we're not obsessing about things before bed. We're not, turn your screen off too. I think staring at your TV or your screen right up until bed, I don't think that helps us ease into sleep. I'm
Mm-hmm.
guilty of it too. I watch up until about sleep.
Yeah.
But for those that are experiencing some difficulties, maybe dial it back an hour or two before bedtime. Read maybe instead. Something that's a little less taxing on the eyes.
I think also, or is it one thing I don't like about this is this propaganda that you have to exercise, and I'm not with that. That's going to be my comment. Like, oh
Uh,
yeah, exercise. No, I'm not with that. But no, I can like get yourself tired, get yourself, and I think like one thing that should have like maybe included this, or maybe it is gonna come up later. Let me double check. No, it's not. I think you have to reserve your room, your bed, for either just sleeping or lovemaking. Hey, hey. But that's it.
yeah.
Like, because you're like we talked about this last episode, like your body remembers it. And if your body just associates your bed with sleep and laying down with sleep, then you're gonna be able to go sleep much faster, easier, and get yourself some good RAM and get yourself maybe remembering your dreams if you choose to remember your dreams.
Now, I know you don't like exercise. I'm explaining to you why it's important. I'm not going to give you this long TED talk. All I'm going to say is this. I've been exercising more for the last 2 weeks, and I've been getting a lot better sleep.
Nice.
And I think the reason for that is, once again, your body's tired. 2, your body's happy.
Mm,
Exercise doesn't mean going out in the yard lifting weights, dude. You
no.
can walk. There's all
Yeah.
kinds. There's heart health exercises. There's
Yeah.
low impact exercises. Exercise means you don't want to turn into a blob, which most people don't. So it doesn't mean go out and do burpees. It doesn't mean go out and have someone, punch you in the stomach while you flex. I mean, there's plenty
Yeah.
of exercises you can do that are low impact or maybe not so taxing on time.
Mm-hmm.
I understand the negative stigma with exercise. I know no one likes doing it. I don't either, but I do love the way I feel after I do it. Even if I don't see results, I feel better. It's odd because I feel more energized, but then when I need to be sleepy, I'm less neurotic.
Yeah.
I feel like, I don't know, exercise helps me feel more in tune with my body. So that's why I like it. I don't feel in tune with my body if I eat a big meal and I want to crash. I feel good. That's how I like feeling on Thanksgiving, but it's not usually a balanced feeling.
Mm-hmm.
But I know I get it. I mean, not all of these solutions are fun. They're it's discipline. So it's not always just a cake pop.
Yeah. I mean, in all fairness, I know I'm like, oh, this fucking sucks. But like in all fairness, like, I'm not those type of teachers to just sit down and lecture. I'm walking around. So even in
Yeah.
myself in the classroom in the classroom environment, I'm looking at my health thing over here. That's why I'm still averaging a daily mile walk of 2.5 miles a day.
Yeah,
So
that's pretty good.
yeah, so even if I'm not like, there's still some sort of exercise. I'm still on my feet, walking around, getting my steps in, get my steps, get my
Right, but that's
cart.
what I mean. So you are following that.
Yeah, to an extent. I'm not like in the gym fucking
No,
working
but
on my
I mean,
chest and
but
shit.
that's not. But I don't think that's necessary.
Nah.
And then I think that's what you were saying.
Yeah.
All I was saying was, it is good to find something to challenge yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not a huge gym person either. And it's not even that I'm scared to work out in front of people. I think it's just that I'm not a germaphobe, but they never feel clean. The thing I do like about a gym, though, is like you mentioned about the bedroom. There's
Mhm.
only one thing you do at a gym. Well, if you're a pervert, there's two. But
Yeah,
if there's,
for the most
you
part.
go and work out, you go and leave. So that's the beautiful thing about it.
Mm-hmm.
But to describe what I want to do is my goal for exercise moving forward, I want to get back into martial arts because
Nice, dude.
it's a little more, it's less work feeling, because that's my issue with exercise. And I think that's what a lot of people that aren't used to it feel.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to just get into something that makes you feel like another job. Like, no, I just went to work. I want to do something like that's not feeling like work. So I feel like for me as well, it's a nice escape from that typical structured arms, legs, chest tomorrow. It's like, I'm not in that world yet. I kind of like the impromptu-ness of martial arts and
Yeah.
discipline in my mind. So that's what I mean. Like, do some research, explore options,
Yeah, whatever works best for you.
and what helps your mental well-being. Like that's
Yeah.
going to help your dreams out too. Another one that's pretty simple is set the intention to remember your dream. And it's
Yeah.
like, wow, yeah, okay. But no, it's true. It's like make it a goal before bed, to tune into your like dream world, like
Mm-hmm.
maybe, and that's kind of what lucid is in a way. I believe it's a lot more you got to get to a real crazy Dalai Lama level of discipline, but like you basically are able to channel and immerse yourself into almost like a meditative state before bed.
Yeah.
Now, that obviously takes time, but
It's like you need to prep you're prepping yourself.
But you even mentioned meditation, like how mindful
Yeah.
movement and a lot of that stuff. I feel like mindful movement would probably be maybe not before bed because you're moving, and that's probably something you do when you wake up. But like in essence, I mean, some sort of meditation before bed is pretty much what this is, which is kind of nice too because it's kind of like a wrap up. You could be like,
Yeah.
instead of going to bed with all these unfinished thoughts and desires or anxiety, you could kind of be like, okay, well today, kind of like the end of an episode. You're like, today we covered A, B, C, and D, and tomorrow we're going to be thinking about this. So
Yeah.
I think that might be a good way to conclude your bullshit.
Yeah, dude.
Cut it off right before bed.
Not only that, but you also like is you're I think a lot of people, we just being busy and being like on a time schedule, we don't have like transitions. Like the first thing we do, we wake up, alarm, shit, we gotta get ready. We don't transition from like waking up slowly to getting ready,
Right.
to doing work, and then coming back from work and transitioning to like home thing. It's always like such a hurry. So I feel like by doing that, like we have our routines. We have me and you, we have different routines to kind of like transition from getting ready from being awake and doing work to like getting ready for bed. And it sounds corny, but like, yeah, even as low as like a 5-minute meditation, kind of breathing exercise, going in, smoking or whatever, like that is the transition. This your brain telling you like, oh, we're doing this. This is what's going to happen next.
That's true
So,
because it's a routine, right?
it's a routine, and it's that detachment. You cannot have your body at 100 and expect to go 0 like within a minute.
No.
It needs that transition. Needs that your body needs to train also.
Yeah,
your body needs to rest too, dude. So, and your mind needs to rest also. So I think that's a very, very I like that. I agree with you on that one.
Yeah,
I concur.
Yeah, and to go with that point, I believe a famous person, Naaman, I don't know his first name because I did this research, but he said most people, to go with the waking up slowly, most people jump into their day, like you were saying, and then they wake up immediately,
Mm-hmm.
and they're pushing their dream mind away. So it says, like, to remember dreams, we simply have to linger.
Yeah.
Which, Danny, how the fuck can you do that when you got shit to do and you got to wake up?
It's hard.
Exactly.
And what, you think I'm gonna wake up
Right.
20 minutes earlier to kind of linger? No, I'm gonna fucking take those 20 minutes of sleep. But I guess that's where you hit the snooze button, right?
Yeah, but here's the thing about the snooze button. It's just putting off that crazy frantic wake up again anyway.
That's true.
You're just
It,
postponing the frantic wake up. You're not really easing out. You're not easing in.
yeah.
But how do you wake up? You need that because it's like most people would sleep right through it. I've tried
Yeah.
it with the I used to set, oh, it was great. I had Spotify playlist as my alarm clock, and it would be
Hmm.
Soulful Morning, which is like Al Green, shit like that, 70s stuff.
Yeah.
It's great. I'll sleep right through it.
Yeah.
I'll continue dreaming through it. I'm like, dude, I can't wake up to the Delphonics.
Yeah.
Like, I am going to sleep through it. So
Mhm.
it's like, as much as I love that type of music, it's not enough to get me. Like, look, dude, we're not just Instagram influencers. We're not TikTok people. We have day jobs. So we have to wake up like day job people. It's not going to change. It was funny. The other day, my oldest son, asked me or told me he wants a cuckoo clock.
Mm.
I'm like, look, in my head,
Those
I'm
things
like,
are creepy.
yeah, they're creepy, but annoying as fuck for the most part. You would
Hmm.
hate that thing. Like, dude, if I was a kid and that shit was going off, I would be throwing things at it on the daily to break it.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I get what you're saying. Daniel Tiger has a whole clock shop, but guess what? We're not getting one. Um,
They're nice. Look at them, dream about it. We're not doing it though.
yeah, I mean,
I think it would be
it's
so annoying.
oh, dude, I would hate it. Fucking cuckoos. The other thing, this is probably the most obvious tip to remembering your dreams, which is the first one that came to my mind. If I had to write it down, kind of goes with the theme, is journaling it. I mean, it's easy. Everyone knows it's like sometimes the best way to retain new information or to learn is to write it out, right? And then to read it back to yourself. It's why I think they had us do index cards so much in high school.
Hmm.
But it's it's practice makes perfect mentality, but it's also cataloging short-term memory because we all know and we've gone over this. This dream stuff is short-term memory,
Yeah.
so it doesn't take up much RAM, and that RAM gets allocated by you getting up and brushing your teeth. So writing it down will allow you to revisit it and maybe potentially be like, oh wow, okay, I don't remember any of that. That's right, that did happen. I think it's also a nice way to keep a record of maybe. Journals are always kind of interesting because if you ever are good enough to complete a journal, which I haven't been, if you're consistent enough, I think it's a cool little time capsule as well to kind of be like, oh look, in these 2 months, I had these dreams, and you're almost doing a case study on yourself. Think about it; it's kind of cool because you could be like, okay, in these 2 months, I was really depressed, and I also had these really vivid dreams about this, and this. It's almost like you're basically doctoring yourself in a way. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, any psychologist or therapist is probably also going to have you keep a journal. They keep one for their own jobs, so it's definitely something that is becoming less of a stigma or a negative or a
Hmm.
mocking thing. I think like we've
Yeah.
definitely gotten past the whole journaling thing being stupid. Especially since nowadays tell-alls and biopics are a huge marketing thing.
Hmm.
But another strategy for journaling is just making a habit of talking to someone about it as well in the morning.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a brother or sister or even your kid. You can just be like, I had a really weird dream, and then it goes into that. I've always noticed though, I still recommend journaling it because even though the words could come out quicker, sometimes depending on how fast you write, it's always hard to reinterpret them
Yeah.
because what makes sense in here, you got to retranslate out in words, and sometimes it doesn't work out so well. I've had
Hmm.
that happen, and I'm like, oh wow, that I'm not doing a good job of explaining this dream because you're looking at me like this was the dumbest dream in the world, but I'm telling you it was fucking
Yeah.
awesome. So yeah, journaling, talking to people. I mean, that's kind of a good method in general for
In general, for
life.
anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the thing with journaling, they said like, and it kind of goes with the next one. But the thing with the journal is that you have to like you're not gonna get it the first time. You're not gonna remember like the little small ones.
No.
But it kind of leads up to the next point is just be patient and consistent. I think all of us, since we do live in this fast pace, we're not really patient. And if we don't see results like within a day or two, we stop losing consistency with it. So definitely be patient and consistent.
Oh yeah. I mean, that's two virtues that are definitely going to help us out more than hurt us, especially with our current climate, like we're all dealing with right now with the world. Practicing a little consistency, patience with ourselves. I would say patience with ourselves most, because if you can be patient with yourself, most likely you can be patient with others. And it always starts with number one. Also, consistency is good as far as, consistent. I mean, no one means like negative consistency. So, but it's like anything, like we're mentioning, like routine. You're getting your body used to this routine of discipline, which is it's sleep time. It's not time to obsess too much. It's time to unwind, get ourselves in a nice meditative / sedative state where we can just relax and really give our minds and body the rest they need. And that's going to give you the best opportunity to have more livid dreams. No one can guarantee good dreams, but at least more livid, more immersive, and probably more, in a lot of ways, more memorable. So consistency is key with anything, I think, and with success or in life. So it's just in general, those are good practices. I think lastly, I think we had that segment. What dreams have you had, and how do they resemble real life situations?
Yeah, dude. For me, it's happened several times, and I remember, and I kind of wrote this down. So when we were, I guess this is like more like a question to the listeners.
Right.
Feel free to answer back, but a couple years back, I was having or several times in my life where I'm like 100% sure I dreamed something. And then a concept, or maybe not the concept, but like the people involved is, in real life, it kind of mimics what my dreams were. And I remember looking it up once, and it said like, oh, it's considered the same thing as deja vu. We're saying deja vu is not like you're tapping into like your past lives. It's just what happens is you live a moment, and rather than your brain registering under short memory, it automatically registers to long-term memory. So therefore your brain thinks like you've done this before, even though it's your first time. It's like a little hiccup that your brain does every now and then. And I was reading that, and they're like, oh, that's just, same thing with like dreams. It's just like deja vu, or it's like a little hiccup. But I remember this one time, dude, I remember the dream because I was just literally talking about this dream last night to somebody else. I remember looking, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing in my dream, but I wake up, I look outside my window from my house, and I wasn't looking at the East Hills. It was just like an open prairie, kind of like open fields.
Right.
And I see a shockwave coming, see the shockwave coming. And then like an earthquake hit inside in my dreams. There's an earthquake, whatever. Of course, as soon as the earthquake happened in my dream, I wake up and I can feel my body still shaking. So I was like, what the fuck was that, an earthquake? Was that an earthquake? So what we do, Californians, what we do when, there's an earthquake, we look up on Facebook or on Instagram, see if anybody Twitter, see if anybody else also felt it.
Yeah.
And after like 2 or 3 minutes, I went, take a piss, water, I'm looking at, see if anything's shaking, nothing going on. I remember I looked up on my phone, I did like a search, like sounds like earthquakes, or like earthquakes in San Jose. It gives me some like website where like it registers all the earthquakes around the world.
USGS.
Yeah, it goes GSX, exactly what it is. And nothing came up. I'm like, all right, I went back to sleep. And then like the next day, or within 24 hours or 48 hours, there was an earthquake here in San Jose. It wasn't like a huge major earthquake, but it was like one of those that gives you like a little jolt and you're like, oh shit, okay, that was an earthquake. I can't
Yeah.
forget that. And I remember like thinking to myself, like, I just dreamed there was gonna be an earthquake. And no one believed me. No one was believing me that I had this dream. And I don't know what I did, but I opened up Google on my phone.
Mm-hmm.
And you know how sometimes it registers like when was the last time you visited that page or something?
Right.
Um, and I saw it and it still came up that was like from a day or two before. And I screenshot. I'm like, see, I fucking told you, I had a dream there's gonna be an earthquake. Here's like I went to his website 2 days ago to see if it was the case. And like here we are having an earthquake now. So coincidence, perhaps. But is I've noticed several times in my life where and then like real life resembles that dream. And I was talking to my friend, and that's where we're having that idea with like, yeah, sometimes our dreams can like, if especially if you're so like spiritual and have that energy, it can kind of feed off like earth energy also and kind of give you like a warning, or you can even like travel out of your own body and go visit somebody else. So I found that interesting. And I'll love to listen to if you ever had like that type of experience before, or like if our listeners or have had that type of experience or can give a better explanation on that.
Oh, definitely. And the cool thing is, dude, is Spotify actually also offers the polls and question option. So if you go on our Spotify and click on the actual episode, if you scroll down a little bit where the episode details usually are, there is a poll and a question. This will be the question for episode 2, or part 2, I should say, which is episode 56.
Yeah.
Episode 55 already has a poll and a question, but this is definitely going to be our question for episode 56, courtesy of our own Danny here. So that is awesome.
Yeah.
Man, I there's a lot to take from that, and I got to say, science is always going to back up science, and there's always things you can take from science, but I hate discrediting spiritual stuff.
Yeah.
I understand why it's done, but I believe in a little bit of everything. So, to defend you, I would say, you didn't have bad, you didn't have some bad food. The Milanesa was moldy. No, I'm just kidding. No, but it wasn't that. It was just like, there's some times in our lives where, I don't think anyone was even warning you, but like, there's been situations or where weird things where it's almost like a warning for maybe you would say like a past loved one looking out for you. But I would say, like your friend said, which I do agree with, is the power of energy. I mean, I tell people all the time, go with your vibe. I mean, that's what energy is. You're going with what you're. There's some energy out there that wanted you to know there's gonna be an earthquake the next day. I don't know.
Yeah.
I can't tell you who, why, what, but there's no scientific explanation for it. So are we just gonna leave it in the whole like, unsolved category? So that's why I'm like, there is a reason. There's a place for science. There's a place for spirituality, and they can't always explain each other.
Yeah,
we've gone over this. It's a fucking vector, or what do they call it? A Venn diagram.
Yeah.
There's going to be an overlap.
Different things. Yeah.
So, I think like everything else in life, it's a balance. I'm a huge believer in energy and karma and stuff like that. And that's the thing. People want to say like, it doesn't go with my religion. Every religion relies on spirituality and energy. They just say it differently and give it a different spin, but it's the same thing. But yeah, dude, I think that's a really good question to have for the guys and gals and in-betweeners. I'm just kidding.
In-betweeners,
in-betweeners with no wieners. Oh, man, that's a T-shirt.
Oh, wow.
Let's get canceled.
Wow.
They might have wieners. What dreams have you?
Oh, wow.
How many wiener dreams have you had? How big is this hole I'm digging? Anyway, PC, I am very inclusive. I include everybody.
Well, it was a good run. 56 episodes. We had a good run.
Well, we didn't put this one out yet.
Oh, that's true. 55. Oh, lost. This
55
will be
and a half.
Yeah.
Sheila's just telling us right now, actually, KTVU has dropped all sponsorship.
Yeah, fucking Frank Somerville.
That actually helps our PR move.
It does. Fucking Garcia.
Can I be like Kanye West right now and be like, KTVU doesn't care about black people?
I think it's too soon. We need to hear a reaction first.
No, I shouldn't say black people, because to be fair, it's not just black people.
Colored people.
Yeah, I don't know if that's the way to word it.
Fair enough. I'll take it.
Colored people. I love colored people.
They don't like minorities.
Yeah. I think people of color is the way they want it worded. I don't know if colored people is right. I think that's what got us in trouble in the first place.
I think we could just say minorities, because that also includes people from like social class, economical, all this stuff.
Let's bring back Foreigner. I mean, not only is it a good classic rock band, but it's not a bad term.
Wow.
I'm doing a lot of hot takes this morning.
Wow. I'll take it though.
Cold as ice? Was that cold as ice, maybe you would say?
You're a cold as ice.
I got love for my peeps, all shapes, colors, sizes, creeds, and you're all spoken for, in my opinion.
We all shit
in
on
my
you
world,
equally.
but
we all shit on you equally.
Well, I was going to get into that, but I was saying, glorifying wise, I love you all, and but get your shit together,
please.
Now, and that goes for everybody. That's the whole point of this podcast. It's like, it doesn't matter who you are, what you look like, kind of how you act. That should be part of it. Like, you shouldn't be like going out, seagalling people, like snapping their necks. But if you got a ponytail, no, I'm just kidding. But it's good to practice a little more self-control and a little more openness.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's fun to joke. We all joke, but like when those jokes become more than something that's meant to make someone laugh, it's no longer a joke. It's kind of creepy.
Mm-hmm.
So, keep it funny and harmless. That's usually what comedy is.
Yeah.
People make it worse and make it seem worse. But if it's a joke and you don't like it, just turn the channel. There's a lot of comedians out there.
There is.
You'll find your comedian. That doesn't mean you got to change the industry. It just means you just haven't quite found the person that speaks to you.
You haven't found your Carrot Top or your
Gallagher.
Your Gallagher, yeah. I was trying to think who does clean cut jokes and they're really corny.
Oh, great example. Stephen Wright, also Mitch Hedberg.
Mm-hmm.
Stephen Wright is a really good one, because Stephen Wright was Stephen Wright was Mitch Hedberg 20 years before Mitch Hedberg.
Mm-hmm.
So anyone out there that wants to check out some clean comedy, Brian Regan's probably one of the best clean comics out there. He doesn't really do props and stuff. Brian Regan, and then I would go the weird unconventional route of Mitch Hedberg and Stephen Wright. So there you go. A little homework for the people out there that want some comedy.
Mm-hmm.
Something clean. Maybe you can listen with your folks.
Some good family fun.
Me personally, if I'm going to listen with my folks, I'm probably going to turn on some like Patrice. I just really want to watch their faces turn.
Yeah.
They really, you know what it's funny about older white people? They really, really hate listening to the N-word more than black people, I think. And that makes me happy.
It makes them so uncomfortable.
It's just, but you know what I think it is? It's like the only time that they ever heard that word was maybe in movies when the Black Panthers were getting together. Yeah. And it's like, I heard that word every day at school. So to me, I understand it, but it's like when I hear it, it's like, it's not scary. It's also, they, for some reason, don't understand the difference between, and I don't say, and I'm going to word this, and I gotta explain a little bit better, but they don't understand the difference between the hard R and the A. And what I mean by that is they treat the A one the same as the hard R.
Yes.
Which is kind of confusing for people out there. So white people, it's kind of rough. You probably can't say either, but you should still understand that the A one is more of a comrade, whereas the ER is more of a plantation Sweet tea.
Yeah.
Yeah. So 50 plus white people, read a book, get it together. I don't know. I don't know what this. I don't know. This episode is ending with a lot of like targeted get your shit together thing. But
we are so canceled.
no. But that's a good way to end the episode on a few tangents. But to remember tangents, no. But we covered a lot of stuff today. How to remember your dreams. But a lot of it's mostly just keep good mental and physical health. You don't need to be an Adonis. You don't necessarily need to drink kale shakes every day.
Mm-hmm.
But it might help you be regular. But a good healthy diet. Just kind of like meditating a little before bed instead of obsessing about tasks or even the next day.
Yeah.
It's good to have spend that time in the day to maybe get that game plan for tomorrow down a little bit. That way you're not just frantically doing it in the morning or obsessing about it all night. That's what evenings are for too. But we really got to make some me time for ourselves and just get ourselves in the bed. And once that happens, we'll be all good. And you guys should hit that pillow. But before you do that, hit the subscribe and like button on our YouTube and as well as our Instagrams. And don't forget, this is now officially a Dead Air Digital production. So we are moving up in the world.
Hell yeah.
Congrats. We need to have a little
powwow now.
We are going to be shooting a commercial pretty soon. So that's going to be exciting. And, maybe we'll have a little celebratory powwow right after that.
Hell yeah, dude.
It's been a hell of a year, buddy, and I'm glad we are growing, building, and being consistent with this, which has definitely helped our mental well-being. And I believe, the few people out there scattered throughout the country, surprisingly enough, we get a lot of the two people that talk to us the most are out of state, which is awesome. We get a lot of Texas. I got some Kansas City, Missouri people.
I want to go over there to try the barbecue.
Me too. And that's the beautiful thing is keeping these relationships going with these people. When we go and visit, we can hit them up and be like, look, dude, we're in the area. What's a good place to eat? It's great to meet people from all over the world. And it's great to interact with them. So once again, you want to drop a line with us, feel free. We got tfthpod@gmail.com. You can also reach out to me directly if you want. It's coop@deadairdigital.com. If that's a little easier, either way, shoot us some questions. Maybe you got some comments. Maybe you don't want to publicly put your name out there with what you have to say, and you want us to publicly chastise you anyway via email. We can do that.
Yeah.
We'll send you a free sticker, but we'll still get down.
Yeah. Hit me up on Instagram, Danny B. Shank. You can hit me up on Twitter at DannyE3P. Reach out to Coop, reach out to Dead Air, reach out, and we will reach out and touch me, and we will
touch me. That's what Bill Cosby said. Yeah, we will get out there.
Back to him,
and it did, and I'm not going to go into it.
All right.
We reach out and touch faith. Like Danny said, you couldn't have said it better. And that's it. All things social. I think we covered our plugs. And I don't have any live dates coming up, so I think that's about it for this week. So I think that's what we're closing you on.
Support us and buy some T-shirts.
Yeah, support. Oh, thank you. Please, we do have a store out. So if you go to our Dead Air Digital, you go to our Tales from the Head Instagram. The link is in the bio. You also go to the Dead Air Digital Instagram. Link is in the bio. So if you want to check out our T-shirts, starting at a pretty reasonable $13 to $19
ish. Yeah.
We also have some sweaters. And for you school nerds out there, there are some totes available. So keep in mind, we do have a little bit of we are back ordered on a couple items, but I don't think anything actually at the moment. Never mind. We do have stickers as well for $2. So if you're like, hey, I don't want to spend $20, you can spend under $5.
Mm-hmm.
But keep in mind, shipping prices are going to be annoying, so you should probably at least spend $15 to $20.
Please.
But either way, there's plenty of other people to support on that website as well. I think my Set Fire to the Sky shirt was on TeePublic, so they do quality work, and it goes back to the artist as well, which is always nice. So if you can and want to support us with the merchandise, please feel free. It just launched, so we will be getting some stuff in for ourselves. We don't get like we unfortunately don't get like ahead of the game thing, which would be nice, but we're waiting there right there with you, and I think it takes about a week or two to get to you. So
yeah,
big step, man, big moves, and we're making them. So thanks for everybody.
Exciting, dude.
Yeah, thanks for everybody checking this project, staying with it, working on yourselves as well as watching us work on ourselves. Let's keep doing it. And we'll see you guys next week. Thanks for everything. Later.
Recording stopped.
Thanks, Sheila.
You are so special, Sheila.